Again, most students will know Mrs. Wong told Brother Ernest that I actually needed some blood transfusion. He would immediately responded. So in a way, I can say indirectly, I have some Brother Ernest blood in me. Actually, I was very surprised because of his quick response. But on the other hand, the humorous part was that he told my his sister-in-law, Mrs. Wong, he said, actually, I don't mind to donate blood. The only thing I didn't like was to be pricked on my finger because I thought he's such a macho man. Of all things, he'll be afraid to be pricked on his finger, so that one. But then I appreciated it very much. I have many, in fact, memorable encounters with him. Contrary to what some people may say, actually, I think deep in his heart, he was actually also a very considerate and understanding person. I remember after teaching for a few years, I had not been paid. So one day, Brother Ernest came to know about it. And to my surprise, the next day, when I was actually teaching in class, he came in and then he passed a check to me, of 800 ringgit. I was very touched. And, he actually never reminded me about the check, about the money and so on. But I myself later on had to remind him, oh, I need to pay back. He's that kind of a man, very considerate. In terms of my expectation of commitment from the lecturers, in terms of from the students, in terms of my expectation of students' attitude, their honesty, their respect for people and so on, I would say that I try to instill into students what have been very much, I would say it's an influence from Brother Ernest. So in a way, I would say that definitely I appreciated him very much. And just like many people, I would say like many students and teachers, I learned to understand and appreciate it even more after he left Cebu or after he left Sacred School. As a principal, his love for education definitely is a total commitment. And I think even though maybe physically, outwardly, he did not show his love for the students, but deep down inside, he really loved the students of Sacred Heart. I have actually seen him in terms of his discipline. Yeah, actually, one time I made a mistake of knocking and going into his office, not realizing that he had just caned a student. So when I asked for permission to enter, I went in. Only then I realized that it took so much of him, to discipline a student. And I'm sure he did it all out of genuine care and love for the future of the students. So for that, I really, because afterwards I did get to talk to him, and then he was explaining to me. He said, wow, this student, and so he had to punish him. So I told him, I said, brother, I know you are doing the right thing. I would like to thank him and appreciate being under him for 12 years, because I have learned so much from him, and that when later on, I never expected to be appointed as a principal, because all the time I thought that I was going to continue to teach as a history teacher, and then later afternoon until I retire at Sacred Heart. But suddenly I was given an appointment letter to be the principal of SMK Canal 8. So I'm very thankful that from what I learned a lot from him, and therefore I was able to, for example, use some of his methods of disciplining students. And one particular area that I would say I learned a lot from him, and it kind of instilled in me, was the kind of expectations he set regarding examinations. Make sure that the exam halls are prim and proper, and put a lot of silence signs along the corridors to make sure that students are not being disturbed during exam time. So that I picked up from him, actually. Yeah.